cat. Who doesn't like cats? This is the internet, man. Nobody likes cats. Hey guys, welcome back. It is Vortie here, and this is technically a continuation of the video I kind of released a little bit earlier when I was talking about Roy. This is the second part. I said there was two very interesting things, or good news and better news. This is the second part of that. It's the free summons that we get from the free raid, or Final Fantasy Brave Exvius Raid of the Darkness, or King of the Darkness. Ooh, spooky. So we're going to take a look at the characters. What we'll do is we'll break it apart into two different categories because these units already exist. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the news that they're providing us in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius for like the limited 2 pieces that they are showing us for all the good stuff that's coming out. So we'll look at the units on what they're showing, and then we're going to jump into Final Fantasy Brave Exvius' Reddit forums, and we're going to take a look at the units and see how good they really are, and see whether they're really worth your time. That's kind of how we're going to do it, okay? So let me know what you think, alright? Let's roll. Alrighty! Let's take a quick rundown through the units before we jump into the Reddit forum and take a look at what they can do. So looking at the first unit here, we're looking at our girl, the Flower Lady, which is Ashta Rose. Her whole stats going on here, which is really tiny and hard to see because I don't know why it's so small, is very weak on everything, really. Like, her MP is pretty high, but everything else is low. Even her hit points is kind of like questionable for a Flower Lady. She is a 4-star base going to 6-star, just like all the units here. The most interesting thing about her is her Trust Mastery, from what we can see here. Breath of the Rose, attack 72, magic 48, dark element, and she also has an ability called Floral Blessing, which is a resistance to blind, sleep, paralysis, confusion, and stone because of just wearing this dagger. As you can see here, it's very small, but it is a dagger. Interestingly, this is definitely a hybrid style weapon for units that do physical and magical damage, which makes me think that she is a physical magic hybrid buffing debuffer unit because she is a debuffer. Looking at her abilities here, we'll take a look at those afterwards. We're just going to look at the names. We've got Dark Bloom, Brer Coil, Corrosive Fumes for her. Very cool. We'll take a look at those afterwards when we start breaking apart the units. Next one here is Sandy. She is a healer. So, she's not, yeah, so she's a healer. Yeah, that's what she is. She's a healer. The lady's a healer. She is a Dream Mage. Looking at her stats, everything is kind of weak and wonky. Her magic is okay, which is kind of weird that that's what they highlighted here because she's not a mage from the looks of it, but her spirit's pretty good. Her MP is really good. She's going to be trying to remove and buff people like Sandman. Looking at her Trust Mastery is called Dreams Maiden Oracle. Boosts magic by 20% when equipped with a rod, and spirit by 20% when equipped with a staff. Very lackluster Trust Mastery in my opinion. However, because these are raid summons, you're going to get probably tons of these, so just get the Trust Masteries you can, and those will become your base Trust Masteries for some of your units when you're trying to gear them up, which is really good. Okay, looking at her abilities here, Dream Stance looks really cool, Dream Entrust looks really, really good, and then Dream Demise is just some damaging ability. Looking at the next one here, the Kitty is a support buffer. She buffs our units up, 4-star going to 6-star. She is a custom girl. Did I talk about the... Yeah, she's a Dream Mage. This is a custom girl. She wears a costume. Looking at her stats here, very crappy. Her spirit is okay. Her MP is alright. Trust Mastery is defense 12, magic 20%, and spirit 20%. Overall, it's not a bad cloth armor. Again, another theme here. She's wearing a cat costume. Very, very cool. But yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Okay. Since we can get it for free, it's actually really good because it's free. Looking at our abilities, Cat Hook, Cat Play, and Cat Fan. Very cool looking unit. I actually really do like her. Next one here is going to be our Clown, which is a monk friend, the Copolo Can. Overall stats, her hit points is not that bad for being a support or like a buffer in this case. Everything else is kind of lackluster. Her MP is not that bad. Again, 4-star to 6-star. She's wearing the Clown Staff, 18 attack, magic 36, spirit 36, and hit points plus 10%. Not that bad for having it on a support unit to try and get a little bit more of that hit points up there, some spirit, and then you get some additional stats to kind of help you out. From looking at the abilities, this Clown is a dancer. She's got the Kopopo Dance, she's got Play, which is a chance of charming one enemy, which is really nice, and she's got a static step. And looking at the last guy, which I think is the most intriguing dude out here, his name is Grinfield. He is a tailor. I thought he was like a what do you call it, a hairstylist or something, but he's a tailor. That's why he's got that giant, those giant scissors. 4-star going to 6-star. Overall stats are interesting. Tons of hit points. He's marketed as an attacker. His attack is really weak though. But we'll have to see exactly what kind of abilities he's got in his kit to see if it's actually worth anything. His Trust Mastery is probably one of the better Trust Masteries from these free units. He does 105 attack, flat base, and then he gives you an ability of death. Woohoo! Death! He lets you cast Death. However, it is a two-handed weapon, which means you can only wear one. You can dual dual wield this. You can't really do anything with it, so it's a little bit hard to, even if you want to wear it for fun. Okay, looking at his abilities, Black Formal, Enhanced Tailoring, and Patchwork are the abilities that he's got here. Patchwork is actually pretty cool because it restores MP for everyone except themselves. So that is the quick rundown of the units. Now we're going to jump on into the Reddit part of these this video, and we're going to take a look at what Reddit has to offer. Now, before we start off with the Reddit stuff, let's give a shout out to the boys and girls at Reddit. Good job, guys, for keeping everything organized as always. I'm going to give those guys a shout out. If you don't use Final Fantasy Brave Exvius's Reddit, you should. You're missing out. Looking at the news here from the update, we got a few different kinds of things coming up here. Some of the stuff is covered in the news in-game already, other stuff is not. So we're looking at, there's going to be a new banner coming out, which is going to include Roy, Aura, and Grumu. We already know that. Those are the units we talked about here. There's not much we need to cover about them till they probably start pulling, and we'll see what if they're worth anything. We got the weekly event of Chambers of Crystals. That's also going to be starting soon. There's going to be a new event raid, which we just talked about, which is the King of Darkness. That's going to be going on for a little while, from the 8th till the 22nd, and you have, sorry, till the 21st, and you get a chance to pick it up as well, which is great. You get the raid summoning. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, this ends on the 21st PST, 22nd CET, but the summons will continue till almost end of December, which is really cool. It gives you time to kind of waste all those gems or stones you pick up. Here are the units where we're looking at. We got all the little girls here, which just seem like they're all females except one dude. So that's pretty cool. Looking at the raid equipment drops, which you can't see because there was no raid there. You got the Magic Barrier device, which is defense and spirit 15% auto shell when equipped. You got another item here called Angel Wand, which gives you 2 attack, man. You beat those people with 2 attack. Defense 12, spirit 48, which is really nice, and light resistance plus 20%. Not bad. ZD Helm, defense 26 and nullifies blind. Just some decent defense. Other than that, it's alright. We got some Angel Wing, Broken Armor, and Bellows Arm Guard with question marks. Not really sure if that's any information we got yet. Clearly we don't, because it's question mark. Here's the next part that isn't talked about it, but it's already pulled out of the maintenance source here. If we look at it, it's in the news, but we can't see it. That's right, the next ESPER is here. It is Fenrir. Ow! It's amazing. Fenrir is here, which means I'm gonna have to catch up with my story to try and get my boy Fenrir. He's one of my favorite ESPERs. I remember back in Final Fantasy 11 Online, when Fenrir was announced, I went bananas. I had to get my Fenrir right away, and then I geared up my summoner so in a way that I could have Fenrir out forever. I had to have so much expensive gear on, but it was amazing. I absolutely love my puppy. My puppy! Come here! Here, doggy! Here! Come on, doggy, let's go! It was awesome. I liked it. But anyways, for whatever reason, I don't know why they are just not having a good time and being able to push the news into the game, which is a little bit sad for all of us, but it is out here, so that's cool. So Fenrir is out there, so if you haven't done your story, make sure you catch up to get that ESPER. He's an amazing support ESPER that buffs everybody. It's really cool. Alright, let's see here. What else do they got here? Oh, they got, oh, hello, they already pronounced all the information here. Ooh, what is all this? We'll take a look at that afterwards, and I'll see if it's worth talking about. If it's worth talking about afterwards. But let's say, let's take a look at the units. This is kind of what I wanted to do here, because I believe this information should already be live on Reddit. So we got, yes it is. I'm going to double check that stuff like that. Alright, so we're going to jump into the units. We're going to start with Ashtora, then Sandy, the cat, then the clown, and then the tailor. Alright, so hang on to your shoes! Alrighty, we're taking a look at our lady, the Rose, Ashta Rose, whatever her name is. Let's take a look at her stuff here. She's got an interesting Trust Mastery. We already went over that. If you didn't take a look at that, you should. Looking at her stats here, her growth pattern is kind of subpar with what she should be doing. But yeah, it's not that bad. The growth is okay. She doesn't have... Oh, she does have some resistances here naturally in her kit. She gets a resistance by 50% to darkness. Yikes. Very cool. Selection of equipment is not that bad. She can only do white and black magic up to level 7, which is okay. She gets her 4 slots. Looking at her limit burst, we're only looking at the highest level of limit burst. So we don't have to really sit there and calculate what's good or not. 300% AoE, 5-hit physical attack, and AoE 3-turn minus 40 defense break to everything, and 4 random status effects. 50% all status. What the hell is going on here? So here's the big hit move. 540% AoE, 5-hit physical attack, and it does AoE 3-turn 40% break and 4 random status effects. It's got 74% chance of all status effects. Wow. That is a crazy, crazy good limit burst. A very good limit burst. I can see this being devastating in PvP. That's just my opinion. You can let me know in the comment section below what do you think of Ashtare's limit burst. Devastating in PvP for sure. Looking at her magic spells here, she's got Poisana, Bio, Bioga, Biora, Cleanse. We don't really have to talk about those. We know what they are. If you're confused, you can pause the video and read it. But I think you guys know. If you're Final Fantasy fans, you know. Next one here we got... it's a Cure ability. Oh, that's the one we talked about over here. Yeah, okay. That's her AoE, cures poison, silence, confused virus. Yeah, okay. And recovers 40 MP for self. That's not bad. Poison is useless. She gets some buffs here for MP and attack. Resistance to virus by 100%. Increases her chance to poison by 60%. She's got the plus 50% blind, sleep, paralyzed, confused, petrify resistance. Very good. Single target. 1,000 needles? What? 10,000 needles! I don't know. I can't see what the move is here. I don't even want to try to translate. 10,000 damage attack. Single target 10,000 damage attack. That is very, very interesting. Very interesting. She's got me curious now. Single target 200% attack and 90% chance, 99% chance to poison. I bet most of the times you won't even poison them. Not because they're resistant, but because Gumi's dice is very big on that 1%. AoE 3-turn, 40% debuff to spirit and defense, not bad. Boosts her spirit by 10%. AoE 3-turn for magic attack, great. 100% poison resistance and cast ability and single heals your thing for a modifier of 1.2. That's not bad. I mean, you're not going to be using it for healing anyways. Her last move here, 140% single target physical attack plus ignores 50% defense and whatever. Single target 3-turn, 40. Not bad. That's not that bad. It's an okay move for a free unit. I'm saying it's not bad because these are free units and she gets these interesting abilities. Up here, when she casts her thing, she gets a single target regen heal that she'll apply onto a unit. That's what that's saying there. So overall, our girl Ashtora is not a hybrid attack unit as I thought she was. Only her Trust Mastery is hybrid attack. She is definitely a single target physical attacking style unit with some magic in her, which is all related to her poisoning units because she's related to flowers. Alright, so we're going to go take a look at the next unit. Overall, this unit's limit burst is really, really good. Welcome back to the next part. Actually, I don't know why I said that, because you're continually watching this video. I guess if you click the timestamp at the bottom there, you probably came here and you're like, what the hell's going on? Who is this guy? Sandy is going to be our Dream Mage. She's got an interesting Trust Mastery, 20% magic and 20% spirit, depending whether you're wearing a rod for magic or staff for spirit. Her building and everything is the same over there. She doesn't have any status or ailments that are buffed her. She's got a good selection of gear pertaining to a mage, so she's good to go. She can wear level 8 magic for white magic and level 3 green magic, which is a little bit disappointing. She can't wear any of the high-end green magic. Looking at her limit burst, we're going to look at the big boy here. 640% AoE 10-hit magic attack and 30% chance to sleep, 10%... What? 30% and 30% sleep and 10% sleep and AoE 3 turn plus 74% defense and AoE heal with a 4 times modifier split over 3 turns. Damn, girl! Okay, let me try and get this broken down into simple English. The attack hits a lot of times for 640%. Okay, there's a 30% chance that you can put your targets to sleep. There's also another 10% chance of sleep for something, but there's also an AoE 3 turn buff to your defense by 70%, and at the same time, you will take a 4 times multiplier of 200 hit points split over 3 turns. So it's like, it buffs your defense, it also gives you AoE regen, which is really, really interesting, but it's a strong hitting attack. I don't really know what usefulness you can have for her unless you're going to have a bunch of Sandies and then you chain their limit burst together, which is going to be ridiculous because why would you have like 4 or 5 Sandies limit burst maxed out? That's crazy. Don't do it. Looking at the magic sleep, she's got Banish, Kiraja, Raise, 30% raise. Looking at her abilities here, she's got a chance to evade attack, pretty cool. MP, Spirit, Magic boost up. 1 random status effect, 20% all, 250% AoE, 1 hit magic attack itself, 30% HP recovery. That one's pretty interesting. 1 AoE turn plus 100% stat debuff resistance and 1 turn AoE 100%. This was the move that they're presenting in her kit. Probably her best move. Next, actually, yeah, it is the best move next to her AoE, Dispel, and Cure All Ailments. So, in reality, these are the really 2 best abilities you got for her, and that's pretty much what you would be bringing her for. Buff all your resistances, which is interesting. So it's AoE turn plus 100% stat debuff resistant. So you get 1 turn, and then so you literally have to keep casting this every time, which is a little bit rough. And then this as well. I don't know. I don't really know how good this is because it's 1 turn. You have to be casting this a lot. Alright, so far this unit has me disappointed. Overall, I don't know. She looks really cool though, but other than that, Trust Mastery is okay. Her Limit Burst is not so good. And her spells, they hurt. They hurt the soul. Alrighty, now we're looking at the little kitty Nayula. Nayalu. Trust Mastery is actually really good. Personally, it's free, so I think it's actually really good. Looking at her builds up here, a little bit slow on her hit points, weak on the MP as well. Her build-ups are actually below par, so she doesn't grow her stuff as fast, which means she's going to be really weak even at 6 star. No resistances, no ailment resistances, nothing else that's interesting. Selection of gear is not that bad. Can't wear any daggers or swords or anything. She can wear claws though and hammers. Level 7 magic, level 7 green magic, very good. Looking at the Limit Burst, 510% AoE 10 hit magic attack and AoE 3 turn 40% break to attack and magic and AoE 62% hit point recovery. So she heals everyone for 62%. She will also break all the enemies by 40% for attack and magic, and she does a pretty strong magic attack that can chain for 10 hits. Very interesting. The magic she's got here, she can heal, Kiraga. She's got Cura, Protect, and Shelga. Not bad for a healing unit. Her MP is is a little bit weak to try and be as a main healer. That's for sure not going to happen. She's got the passive that boosts her magic and spirit when she equips a hat. A cat hat? 10% MP boost, 100% status, resistance to all ailments, not bad. Self-recovery, 30% hit points MP. That's really good though for a unit that has a very weak MP pool. She's got a AoE heal with a 4.5 multiplier. Yikes, that is good. She's a pretty decent AoE healer. She can also boost defense and spirit by 40% and can break attack and magic by 40%. And then she's got a random ability here called Random Use. She can either use one of these 3. Oh, this is the cat gnaw thingy. Yeah. She's got a chance to do. So we've got a 1% chance. Single target 4-hit magic attack. Oh, sorry, it's a 1% single target 4-hit magic attack, which means it does nothing. 120% single target 4-hit magic attack, and then if you roll on the big part, you will get 500% single target 4-hit magic attack. Overall, probably the most interesting unit we've seen so far. She's got the capabilities of healing. How good is her healing going to be because of her low mana pool is a little bit interesting, but she does have this self-recovery which keeps her MP pool up. As long as you have 24 MP or more, you can recover 30% of your MP back, which is not that bad. So overall, interesting unit. I'm curious to see what we can do with this one. She's okay. Her limit burst is neat. Her kit's actually pretty interesting, and it's a cat. Who doesn't like cats? This is the internet, man. Nobody likes cats. Let's take a look at the next unit. Alrighty, let's take a look at our clown. The clown has got an interesting trust mastery. It's actually not that bad. I like it. Growth patterns are similar to that of the cat. Her MP actually grows substantially more than her hit points and everything else. Everything else is just below par. No resistances, no ailments, nothing. Very poor selection of gear, limiting her to staffs, just cloth with a robe. Level 7 white magic and nothing else. A little bit disappointing. Looking at the clown's trust mastery, AoE 2000 hit points, heal with a 14.4 modifier, and cure all status ailments. Looking at this ability at at the lowest level here, it's an 8 times multiplier. This is a very big, powerful AoE heal that will cure all your ailments. I don't think there's any reason to ever level up her limit burst because the heal just becomes stronger. Everything else is just doesn't matter. Because here you're looking at 6 star, it's a 12 times multiplier. So you would level up her trust mastery all the way just to get 2.2 or 2.4 extra modifier. It doesn't make any sense. Her being 6 star and using her limit burst, you gotta get the full potential of it, which is really crazy. It is a nice limit burst. Heals you and removes all ailments. Not bad. Looking at her magic here, she can remove Petrify, and she's got an airy cure of poison, sleep, blind, silence, paralysis, and confusion. Not bad. Looking at our other things here, we're not even going to look at the passives. Self-recovery. So she's got a self-recovery for hit points and MP2, which is really nice to have on more modern units. I would say most 5 stars should have this built into them. They get the refresh, plus a chance to kind of bring back their MP really quickly to keep them in the fight. You got AoE 2-turn, 50% ice and earth resistance. Not bad. That's not bad. She's got the same thing for water and dark. Not bad. Her boost here, AoE 3-turn, 40% attack boost. Okay. She's got the chance. She's got a 10% chance to charm the unit, which is really good because this is a very interesting ability, by the way. We don't have any bosses or anything we've ever had so far in the game that are immune to charm, or as they like to call it in game, mesmerize. Like there's nothing that's immune to mesmerize, which is a charm ability. So this gives you a chance to charm. You can charm the boss. It'd be very interesting. AoE 2-turn, 50% fire and wind. So she's got all the resistances by 50%. Not bad, except light, which is right here. So she has all of them. Great. She's got an AoE 3000 hit points heal with a 9 times multiplier while singing, split over 3 turns, and 40%. Wow. So speaking of Roy has an ability that's similar like this, obviously, but he's a way better unit. She can also heal you at a 9 times multiplier of 3. Over 3 turns, she'll be singing. While she's singing, you will get this regen heal. And on top of that, you will get your defense and spirit boosted for 3 turns. A very interesting ability. It's actually really nice. She's got the different resistances you want, paired up with interesting element combinations, which normally we don't see bosses run those, but you can use them. And the last ability here, which is the best ability in the game if you haven't known, it's a 0% chance to charm. You get it at level 100. It costs 0 MP. You do nothing. It costs no MP. It does nothing, and you get it at level 100. It is amazing. Best in game. It's just a clown being a clown. All right. Overall, interesting unit. Has a potential to be a support unit for newer players who don't have maybe Minfilia or Marie or any of those units that can buff their resistances. This unit can buff your resistances. They can also give you a little bit of support and healing once your support is up. But she will be singing for 3 turns, making your buffs come off 1 turn early before she stops singing, which is going to make it very dangerous for you. Unless you know how many turns it takes for the unit to cast the said element, then you're good to go. Alright, overall decent limit burst as well, so she's a pretty decent unit. Remember, these are free units, so they're decent for being free. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. It is the man, the legend, the Barber? No, he's the tailor. Get it straight. He's got a trust mastery called whatever, giant scissors. Attack 105 greatsword with an ability on it to cast death. On the Japanese version, doesn't seem like death is on there for whatever reason, but it says that on the global version. He gets a very good growth in hit points, very mediocre growth in MP, and then everything else is par. Just very slow growth attack for everything else, making him very, very weak. No resistances, no ailments, no nothing. It's got a decent selection for gear, making him have a chance to kind of wear some interesting items. You got daggers, swords, great swords, and katanas. Limited by armor with helmet and a cloth body and a mail body, which is meh. He can wear white magic level 6, black magic level 7, which is not bad. He gets his 4 slots, pretty good. Let's look at his limit burst. So he's got a finishing move here. It's kind of weak. 690% single target, one hit physical attack, ignore defense by 25%. It's a finishing type of style limit burst. Unfortunately, it's he's come at the wrong time. This could have been useful before, but if you have the new units that we've just gotten pretty much right now, like Core from Final Fantasy 15, Core the Immortal. Core the Immortal would probably do way better than this because he's a single target finishing move that hits way harder than this, and yeah. If this was 50%, it could be pretty viable, but its limit burst is not worth anything. Looking at his spells, he can do water, air, he can also heal, and he can cast stone. Not bad. When he's equipped with cloth, he does more damage with physical and magic damage. Not bad. So he's not a hybrid attacker. He's a very interesting attacker. Is he a physical hybrid attacker? I don't know. I'm so confused. He gets a few different moves here. 180% AoE, 6-hit earth physical attack. Same thing for water. Same thing for wind. And same thing for hybrid? So he does have a hybrid attack. Interesting. So he gets AoE, earth, water, wind. He can also confuse a target by 50% chance. He's got an AoE heal, set amount of MP that he recovers for units. It's 30 MP back for everyone except himself. He can also buff the party by 40% attack and defense, and then he's got this interesting 280% AoE 6-hit hybrid attack, which I believe should be chainable. I saw the frames somewhere, but I forgot them because I'm getting old. I can't remember. I wonder. This unit's actually pretty interesting. The fact that he's got these elemental attacks could be very interesting because this could chain 6-hit attack. I think this chain the first like 5 or 4 frames. I think the first 4 or 5, or is it the last 4 or 5 frames chain with Onion Knight? I think so. I think you can actually begin this with a chain with Onion Knight. I wonder. Anyways, overall the unit's pretty interesting. It's not that bad. He's free. What are you gonna do? His trust mastery is okay. Make sure that all the units you get, feed them into each other so you can get their trust masteries and take advantage of that. Alright, so overall, what should you do with this banner? It is a free banner. You should definitely pull on it. Get your raid coins, pull on the banners, feed the units into each other, get the free trust masteries. Don't be a big baby, okay? It's free. These units are not groundbreaking, but they do have some interesting abilities as you saw. If you do like them, keep at least a unit for yourself to have fun with them. Alright guys, overall this I guess you can say update is actually pretty good. Getting these free units is not that bad. Overall, I don't know, they're not bad. That's really the best thing you can say. The trust masteries are okay. The units, they're like okay, they're not the best units, but like the clown is pretty interesting. Even Grinfield is not that bad. So that's gonna conclude this super duper long video talking about the raid summons and kind of taking a look at them. Obviously, some information is still not presented to us because it hasn't been fully unlocked. If something comes up that is worthy of making a video, I will make a video and I will come back here online and let you guys know, and you can let me know what you think. So in the comment section below, let me know what you guys think of these free units. Would you like a particular unit? Can you think of a really interesting place to use one of these units? Like, let's say a trial that we currently have or we will have in the future that you think one of these units is going to be useful in. Let me know in the comment section below and I will join you guys down there. This is Vortie. I will see you guys in the next video. Hit that like and subscribe button. Stick around for future content. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm out of here. Peace.
Aside.